Yes. Yes, today's topic is PyScript. Okay, today's workshop topic is PyScript. So this is a topic. So today's topic is PyScript here. So before starting the PyScript, okay. So already you know what is Python is. Already you know what is Python is. Okay. So what is Python? Anyone? What is Python is? Can you able to answer this? What is Python? Is it Python is a programming language or scripting language? Yes. What is Python? Is it a programming language or scripting language? Yes. So Python is a programming language. Yes, Python is a programming language, but having some of the features of. So Python is a programming language, but having some of the features of what? Scripting language. Yes. But actually Python is not a programming language. Python is not a scripting language. Python is what here? Programming language. Python is a programming language, right? Python is a programming language. We'll say Python is which kind of programming language? Object-oriented programming language. Python is object-oriented programming language. So Python is programming language, but it is which kind of programming language? Object-oriented programming language. And we'll say Python is okay, general purpose programming language, right? Okay, general purpose programming language. Python is programming language. It's not a scripting language. You have to remember this. Python is programming language, but it is not a scripting language. But it is having some of the features of scripting language like dynamic typing is one of the feature of scripting language. Dynamic typing is one of the feature of scripting language, right? So, but Python is not a scripting language, it's a programming language. Okay. And when you're talking about, yes, okay, but Python is programming language, but having some of the features of scripting language. So what are the features include is like dynamic typing. Yeah, I'll tell you what is scripting languages. I'll tell you what is scripting languages. One, dynamic typing. Dynamic typing is one of the feature of scripting language. Okay, this feature is inherited from scripting language, dynamic typing. Okay, but actually it is not a scripting language, it is a programming language. So what is a scripting language? First of all, you should know what is scripting language. What is a scripting language is? Okay, scripting language is, okay, scripting language is one type of, okay, scripting language is one type of programming language only. Scripting language is one type of programming language, but used for writing what? Scripts. Okay. Scripting language is one type of programming language only, but used for writing which one? Scripts. So what is a script is? A script is a small program. A script is a small program. A script. What is a script is? A script is a small program executed. A script is a small program executed executed inside another program. A script is a small program executed inside another program. See, what is a script is? A script is a small program executed inside another program. So you have a scripting languages. You have a scripting languages like there is a scripting language called JavaScript. Okay. There is a scripting language called which one? VB script. Okay. There is a scripting language called which one? Some TypeScript or Perl. Okay. So there is a Perl. So there is a scripting language called which one? PHP. So all these are scripting languages. Okay. Scripting languages are used. Okay. Scripting languages cannot execute it individually, right? Scripts cannot be executed individually. Script is not executed individually. Script is not executed individually. It required another program to run. It required another program to run. For example, if you take JavaScript, and scripting languages are embeddable. So it means scripts are embedded within another program. For example, if you take MS Excel is there. A simple example, if you take MS Excel, okay, MS Excel is one software. Okay, MS Excel is one software where assume that I try to enter some data. Okay, in MS Excel, I try to enter some data like this. In MS Excel, I try to enter some data. Now, after entering data, I want to perform certain operations on this data. I want to perform certain operations on this data. For example, I want to find out minimum. I want to find out maximum. I want to find out mean. I want to find out median. So how can I do all these things? For that, I need to write some small programs. So for that, MS Excel uses one scripting language called which one here? VB script. Now using this VB script, you can develop which one here? Macros. You can develop macros. The macros are nothing but some special. These macros are called some special functions. These macros are nothing but some special functions. Now using this VB script, I can write macros and that functions operate on which one? Data. But where this VB script get executed, this VB script get executed within what? MS Excel. Where this VB script get executed, this VB script is executed within MS Excel. It means I'm not executing this VB script individually. It is executed within another program called which one? MS Excel. So scripts cannot be executed individually. The scripts required another program to run. Scripts cannot be executed individually. Scripts required another program to run. Okay. So in the same way, if you're talking about JavaScript is there. JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript is embedded within HTML. Okay. And JavaScript is executed within browser. So generally use a JavaScript. JavaScript is used at which side here? Client side. It is used for manipulating DOM as well as what you call it as BOM. So DOM is nothing but document object model. It's nothing but your HTML document. If you want to manipulate HTML document elements during runtime, you try to use JavaScript. And if you want to customize the operations of browser, okay, then you take the help of which one? JavaScript. It means using JavaScript, I can able to communicate with what? Browser. Using JavaScript, I can able to communicate with the browser. Using JavaScript, I can manipulate the elements of what? HTML page. But where this JavaScript get executed? The JavaScript executed within browser. The JavaScript is executed within browser. So just try to understand here. So scripts cannot be executed individually. The script required another program to run. Scripts cannot be executed individually. Scripts required another program to run. Okay, scripts are not executed individually. A script required another program to run. So please try to understand this. Okay, scripts required another program to run. Okay, it cannot be run individually or independently. It cannot be run individually or what? Independently. It required another program to run, right? Okay. Now coming back to this PyScript. Okay. So PyScript, like PyScript, but is it PyScript is a scripting language? No. Is it PyScript is a scripting language? No. Sorry. Yeah, can you see my screen, right? Can you able to see my screen? Can you able to see the screen, right? Okay. Okay, right, fine, fine. Okay. Okay, so PyScript is there. So PyScript is not a scripting language like JavaScript or WebAssembly. What is PyScript here is? PyScript is a, okay, you can say Python. Okay, PyScript is a Python framework. PyScript is a Python framework. So here, what is PyScript here? PyScript is not a scripting language. So don't think that PyScript is a scripting language. Now PyScript is what here is a Python framework. Is a Python framework or PyScript is a framework. PyScript is a framework. Okay, PyScript is a framework. Okay, Python is a language. Yes. Yes. Sudarshan, right. Very good. Very good. Sudarshan, right. Okay. So PyScript is a framework. Like Django is a Django is what here? Python framework. Okay, Django is a Python framework. Okay, in the same way, Flask. Flask is also Flask is also which one? Python framework. Okay, PyScript is a framework. Okay, Django is a framework, and Flask is also framework. But Django is a server side framework. Django is what here? Server side framework. And Flask is also which one? Server side framework. So using Django, you are developing which applications? Web applications. Okay, using Django, okay, you are developing which applications? Web applications. Using Django, you are developing which applications? Okay, web applications. Yes, PyScript is a library. Yes. So why I'm saying it is a framework, Anil Singh. Okay, why I'm saying it is a framework. So Django is a Python framework, but this is server side. And Flask is also Python framework. It is also server side. But PyScript is a Python framework, but this is which side here? Client side. PyScript is a Python framework, but this is which side here? Client side. So PyScript is not a language. Try to remember this. PyScript is not a language. PyScript is what? A Python framework. Okay, Python framework. Like the way how you talk about like Angular JS. Okay, in the same way, you can talk about PyScript as a Python framework. Okay, Angular JS is JavaScript library. Like that, PyScript is also one library. Okay, when I'm saying framework, it is not only providing libraries, it is also providing runtime environment. Okay, framework will provide two things. One is a library as well as what? Runtime environment. Okay, so framework provide two things. One is a library as well as runtime environment. Okay, so PyScript is completely related with what? Web development. Okay, PyScript is completely related with the web development. Okay, PyScript is completely related with the web development. So web development. So when you're talking about web development, whenever you're talking about web, okay, whenever you talk about web, so in web, how many programs will be there? Two programs will be there. One is a client and one more is which one? Server. Whenever you are talking about web, In the web, how many programs will be there? Two programs. One is a client and one more is which one? Server. So in internet, okay, in internet, so you have two programs. Yes, maybe in future, maybe in future. Okay, Yogesh, maybe in future, okay, in future. But because PyScript is still in evaluation, this thing, okay, okay, PyScript is still in evaluation, this thing, right? Right. So we can use JSP pages in the place of JavaScript. We can use PyScript. No, JSP is server side. JSP is server side. Java server pages at server side. Okay, Java server pages is server side. It is not client side. JSP is not a language. JSP is not a language. Okay, JSP is a server side program, server side pages. Okay, so JSP is not client side. JSP is what? Server side. Okay, so whenever you are talking about internet, in internet you find two programs. One is a client and one more is what? Server. Okay, now you try to use some programs at which side? Server side. So what is the use of server side programs is taking the input given by the client and processing it and giving what? Dynamic output. So it is used for developing dynamic content. Okay, suppose Django is there. Okay, Django is at which side here? Server side. Django is at which side here? Server side. Okay, so generally server side programs, what is the need of server side programs is the programs which reside at server side. Okay, the programs which are there at server side take the input, take the input given by which one? Client. Take the input given by the client. So this input, generally you call it as request. Okay, this input you call it as which one? Request. Okay, so client send a request and that request is processed by the program which is there at server side and generate what? Output. Okay, it will generate the output. It will generate the output and generally this output is called as which one? Response. But this output or response is given in the form of what? A web page. It is given in the form of web page and that is nothing but in the form of which one? HTML. So the output what it generates, this output is not static. This output is what here? Dynamic. This output is not static. This output is what here? Dynamic. So dynamic, this output is which one? Dynamic. For example, if you take a, Gmail application only, if you take Gmail application only where you enter username, okay, where you enter username and after giving username, you'll try to input what here? Password. You try to enter username and you try to input which one? Password. So after giving username and password, okay, after giving username and password, okay, you just click on sign in. Okay, you just click on which button? Sign in button. So when you click on sign in button means you are sending a request to one program. Okay, you click on sign in button. Okay, you click on sign in button. So once you click on sign in button, you are sending this username and password to the program which is there at which side? Server side. You are sending this username and password to the program which is there at which side? Server side. So what is the program which is there in server side? Django. So that will take that username and password and verifies that username and password, verifies that username and password by communicating with what? Some database. Okay, by communicating with the database, it will try to verify, is it this username is valid or invalid. If the username and this password is valid, then it will try to generate some output. But it is generating output in the form of which one here? HTML. Suppose if NIT user login, suppose if NIT user is login, okay, if NIT user is exists, then it will generate the output related with what? NIT. If XYZ is login, it will generate the output related to which one? XYZ. If ABC is login, if ABC is exists, then it will generate the output related with what? ABC. But who's generating the output? This output is generated by the programs which are existed at which side here? Server side. The programs which are existed what? Server side. But in web development, you're writing this server side programs in Python. Okay. In web development, you're writing server side programs in Python using some framework like Django. Okay. You're writing server side programs using using Python language, using some frameworks like Django, and one more is what? Flask, Pyramid. All these are what? The web frameworks which runs at which side here? Server side. Server means a server is a program which provides services. Okay. Server is a program which provide what here? Services. For example, if we take this is okay, assume that I develop one application which provides some banking services. Then I call this as which server? Bank server. Because this is providing services of which one? Bank. But each service is one program. And that program you're writing using certain frameworks. Okay. Each service is called one program. And that program you're writing it by using some framework. Suppose SDFC Bank server. SDFC Bank server will have the services belongs to which bank? HDFC Bank. Reservation server will have the services belongs to reservation and other things, right? But service is nothing but a program which takes the inputs given by the clients and process it and generate certain outputs, right? For that, you require some programs at which side? Server side. But to write the programs at server side in Python, you are using some frameworks. What are the frameworks you are using? Like Django. Django is a framework. Okay, Django is a framework written in Python, and Flask is a framework written in what again? Python. Okay, Django is a framework written in Python, and Flask is framework written in what again? Python. Okay, yes. Then this is server side. Suppose if you are talking about client side means now who is the client in internet? Client in internet is nothing but which one here? Browser. Who's the client in internet here? Browser. Okay, you want to execute certain things within the browser. You want to execute certain things within the browser, right? At client side. Then previously you are trying to use what? JavaScript. Okay, you are trying to use which one? JavaScript. You are trying to use which one here? VB script. Okay. You are trying to use JavaScript as well as what? VB script. Okay. For example, before sending the request to the server, I want to verify. Before sending the request to the server, I want to verify is it this username is input or not, whether password is input or not. I want to do some validations. I want to do some validations at which side? Client side. Then I'm trying to do that by using which one? JavaScript and what is that? VB script. Now I want to execute the Python programs inside which one? Browser. I want to execute the Python programs within the browser. I want to execute Python programs within the browser. Within the browser. I want to execute the Python programs within the browser. Okay. So this is very much helpful for the people, those who want to manipulate, what do you call it as document, HTML document. Okay. So that is nothing but DOM. Okay. DOM hierarchy or DOM elements. Okay. Then you take the help of which one again? PyScript. And not only that, PyScript, it is not a language. I said, what is a PyScript is? PyScript is not a language. PyScript is what here is a framework which provide. PyScript is a framework, and this is used to execute the Python programs. This is used to execute the Python programs within the browser. It means without even PyScript can be interact with the JavaScript, or it can be interact with the JavaScript, or it can be embed with what? JavaScript, or you can write a PyScript purely within the Python. You can write a PyScript purely within the Python. So PyScript is a framework which provide two things. Okay, PyScript is a framework. It will provide two things here. One is a library. One is a library and one more is a runtime environment. It will provide a library and it also provide runtime environment. So why we are using a PyScript is only the thing is if you want to execute the Python code, if you want to execute the Python programs, if you want to execute the Python code or Python programs, okay, within browser, how can I execute the Python code within the browser? I can execute the Python code or Python programs within the browser. Okay, I can execute the Python code or Python programs within the browser by using which one? PyScript. Okay, PyScript. So for that, I'm taking the help of which one here? PyScript. So this can be embedded within HTML. So whenever you're talking about browser, okay, this can be embedded within HTML. So this notes, I'll try to share it. So what is a PyScript? Okay, what is a PyScript? So before getting definition of PyScript, it should be understand PyScript is an experimental project. So what is a experimental project? Means PyScript is not fully developed, but they are trying to develop it. Actually, PyScript is a framework which is developed or contributed by anaconda people. Okay, so PyScript is a framework that enables users to create. Okay, PyScript is a framework that enables users to create efficient Python applications in browser using which interface? HTML interface and the power of PyDid. Okay, what is this PyDid here is, it is a runtime environment. These are nothing but runtime environment which is used by most of the client-side technologies. Most of the client-side technologies, okay, uses this runtime environment. So the PyScript framework provides users at every experience level with access to expressive, easy to learn programming language with countless applications. Because by introducing this PyScript, okay, by introducing this PyScript, okay, you can use all the features of which language? Python language. By introducing this PyScript, you can okay, by introducing this PyScript, you can include all the features of which language? Python language. By introducing PyScript, you can include all the features of Python programming language and execute applications within the browser, right? So Python in browser, okay, Python in browser without relying on server-side configuration to host applications, it can enable drop-in content, host external files. It means you can download the files which are there in the server and you can able to execute within what? Browser. You can able to execute within the browser. So Python ecosystem, one more advantage is can run many popular packages of Python and okay, scientific stack. Okay, yes. See, that is what. Now, when you're talking about this, right? See, client side, irrespective of client, you can send to the server, right? Suppose if you are using client side JavaScript, at server side, you are using what you are using it. Okay, at server side, you may use different technologies. Irrespective of client side, at server side, you can use any technology. Irrespective of client side, at server side, you can use any technology, right? So Python with JavaScript can engage bi-directional communication between Python and JavaScript objects and namespaces. It means now Python can use the JavaScript objects to manipulate what do you call it as document objects as well as browser related operations. Environment management enables users to define what packages and files include for the page code to run. Okay, visual application development. Now, PyScript is having its own UI components. Like Angular will provide its own UI components in the same way. PyScript also provide its own UI components that can be used to develop which one? Front end. Okay, user interface like buttons, containers, text boxes, and so many things. Flexible framework can create and share new pluggable and extensible components directly in what? Python. Because PyScript is a open source. Okay, this is what I said. What is a PyScript is a framework. PyScript is a framework that enables to create efficient Python applications in browser using HTML interface and the power of PyDid and WASM. This is nothing but runtime environment. Okay, so the PyScript framework provide users very every experience level with access to the expressive, easy to learn programming language with countless applications. Okay, now what is the name of the funding? Okay, company that develop PyScript, who developed this is Anaconda Distribution. Okay, is a founding company of PyScript. Is PyScript developed completely for use? Okay, PyScript is an alpha framework that is still in evaluation. Okay, what are the prerequisites to use a PyScript is basic knowledge of HTML and Python, and IDE and browser can enable one to efficiently use which one? PyScript. If you want to, if you want to run or if you want to use a PyScript, now you must have the knowledge of which one? HTML, and then you should have the knowledge of which one? Python, right? And then how does PyScript work? So PyDate is a base PyScript is a base for the PyScript. PyScript is a Python distribution, okay, for browser and WebAssembly based Node.js. The WebAssembly technology makes it possible to write websites in what here? Python. So what is WebAssembly is? It is a standards which are used to develop. It is a standard or protocols which are used to develop, the platform to run the programs within the browser, Then how can I configure PyScript in my HTML and execute it? So first thing what you have to do is, yes, PyScript loading in browser is slow. Yes, PyScript loading in browser is very slow because it need to set up runtime environment. It need to set up what here? Runtime environment. It need to set up runtime environment. Okay, it need to set up runtime environment. Okay, yes. So how can I execute the PyScript within the HTML, within the browser? So PyScript is embedded within what? HTML. PyScript is embedded within the HTML. PyScript is embedded within the HTML. So first what you do is, now you can execute directly, or you can use VS Code. Visual Studio is a IDE. Now what is the IDE I'm using here is Visual Studio IDE I'm using it. Okay, Visual Studio I'm using it. Now how to configure, I'm just telling you. You need to install Visual Studio. Okay, nothing you have to do it. Yes. Now what you do is here is in Visual Studio, create one folder. So folder is nothing but package. Folder is nothing but a package or project. Sorry. Folder is nothing but a project. So I'm trying to create one folder here. Some drive folder I'm creating it. One folder I'm creating it. Now PyScript some test one. So what is the name of my folder here? PyScript test one. This is a folder. Okay, I created one folder here. Yes. So install Visual Studio. Install Visual Studio Code. Install Visual Studio Code. Install Visual Studio Code. Right? Yes. Install Visual Studio Code. Now screen is visible or not visible? Please. Screen is visible or not visible? Is the screen is visible or not visible? Okay. Very good. Yes. Okay. No problem. Okay. So install Visual Studio Code. Install Visual Studio Code. Okay. Yes. I'm increasing here. So volume is very high. Volume is very high. Volume is very high. Okay. Karuna. Right. Volume is very high. So after this, now what you do is create one HTML. Okay, create one HTML file. Okay, create one HTML file. So there is a new file. There is a new file. And then I'm saying here, this is some test one dot. test1 dot what is that? HTML. So test1 dot HTML. Now this is an HTML file. This is an HTML. Okay, where I'm not included any Python code here. This is an HTML page. Okay, so this is one web page where I said HTML and head. So the title of this web page is some PyScript, and nothing is there. Are you inserted any Python code here? No, you are not inserted any Python code here. Okay, now if you want to run this, okay, you try to add one plugin. Okay, you try to add one extension called live server. Okay, you try to add one extension called live server because we are trying to install live server, because we are trying to deploy our application, and we are trying to deploy our application and we are trying to deploy our application in server, and that server will send a response to client. Okay, so try to install which one here, live server. So just go to extensions, and install which one, live server, which I installed already. If I want, I can uninstall and install again. Okay, I uninstall it. I'm trying to install again. Okay, so it is installed. Live server is installed. Okay, live server is what here, installed. Okay, so this is pure HTML. This is pure HTML. So just click right mouse button and open with live server. Just click on open with live server to test this HTML page, right? So open with live server. Now you can see the title. What is the title of this page? PyScript. But this page content, this page contain any information? No, this page is not having any information. See, if you want, you can write one HTML file without using editor also. If you want to write this code, you open in Notepad, open Notepad, okay, open Notepad, and in the Notepad, you can create this file and save this file in one location. If you don't want VS Code, okay, you just save in OneDrive with some, okay, some test1 dot HTML, test1 dot HTML. Now open the drive where you saved. Okay, I try to save in some E drive. What is the name of this file? Test1. Just select this test1 and open with Chrome. Now, what is the title of this here? PyScript. If you don't want to use any editor, okay, if you want to use Notepad, you can write this in Notepad. Okay, then how can I include the Python code? How can I include the Python code? Now, in order to include, before including the Python code, you have to set up. You have to do some setup. Okay, I said PyScript is a framework, and this framework consists of libraries as well as runtime environment. It is contained the library as well as what, runtime environment. Okay, now you have to link the PyScript first. What you have to do is you have to link the PyScript first. So after creating an HTML file, we need to link PyScript in your HTML file to have access to the PyScript interface. So this will be placed inside which tag here? Header tag. This will be placed inside which tag here? Header tag. This will be placed inside header tag. So what is the link you are writing is link. Now this is a link. You are trying to add external files or external libraries by using which tag here? Link tag. Now this link tag you have to add inside what? Header tag. Okay, now you are trying to add two things. One is PyScript.css. What is CSS stands for here? Cascading style sheets. Okay. Now PyScript also provides some predefined style sheets. Okay. PyScript also provides some predefined style sheets. And not only that, you have to include a library. What is that library? JS library, JavaScript library called PyScript dot what is that? JS. You have to include PyScript dot what is that? JS. Now this is a library. Now you have to include two things here. One is PyScript.css and one more is PyScript.what.js. These both are predefined files, or you can call these are some libraries. Okay, so PyScript.js is as simple as like this. Okay, if you want to write a Python program, if you want to use mathematical functions, you have to import which library? Math library. Okay, if you want to use NumPy and Pandas, you have to okay, if you want to include NumPy and Pandas, you have to import which library? NumPy and Pandas. Okay, you have to import which library? NumPy and Pandas, right? Okay, now you have to remember this. You have to remember this. Okay, yes. So here we are trying to set up. We have to set up. We need to set up the environment by including two things. One is PyScript.css and one more is PyScript. What is it? JS. Okay, it is a JavaScript library. Okay, it is a JavaScript library. Okay, yes. Then after that, if you want to execute the PyScript, now you have to use some tags. If you want to execute PyScript, you have to use one tag. So what is the tag you are using is PyScript. There is one tag called which one? PyScript. Okay, PyScript. The PyScript tag allows you to run multi-line Python programs and have them printed on the browser page. Now place this tag in between body. It means whatever content you want to display within the web page, you'll try to write that inside what? Body. Whatever you want to display within the web page, okay, that you'll write within the body. Whatever you want to print within the web page, that you write within the body. Within the body, you are trying to write within the body. Okay, so what you are trying to use is you are trying to use one tag. What is the name of this tag here? PyScript. So why we are using a PyScript here? To execute which code? Python code. To execute which code here? Python code. I'm saying print. So welcome to I'm saying welcome to, what is this here? PyScript. Welcome to PyScript. Previously, we tried to do this by using JavaScript, but now you are trying to do it by using which one here? Python itself. Okay, Python itself. Now just open this in the browser. Now you can see. So for loading runtime, for loading, it may take some time because it should load the runtime. Now you can see welcome to, welcome to, what is that? PyScript. You can see the message welcome to PyScript. You can see the message welcome to PyScript. It means, can you able to execute any content? Can you able to execute any content within the browser? Yes. Okay, so welcome to PyScript. So this is written in which language? Python language. Means you are trying to execute the Python code. You are trying to execute the Python code within the browser. You are trying to execute the Python code. Now, welcome to PyScript. This is written in which language? Python language. Okay, now you can use, for example, if data science persons are there, they want to they want to visualize, they want to create some visualizations. Okay, so they want to put, or they want to execute everything inside what? Browser. So they can do that. They can do that without interfering anything to be executed at which side? Server side. They can do everything in what? Browser itself, by including all the libraries and everything. So this is one tag. PyScript is one tag. And not only that, you can use a PyScript. Okay, you can use a PyScript. Okay, you can use a PyScript to embed with the HTML. It means using PyScript, you can manipulate using PyScript, you can manipulate what? HTML elements. Using PyScript, you can manipulate what? HTML elements, which is nothing but DOM, document object model. Now, while using PyScript, you might want to pass variables from your Python code to what? HTML. Okay, you want to pass the Python data. Whatever data you manipulate, you want to send that data from Python to which one? HTML. Okay, you can do this by using the right method from the PyScript module. Within the PyScript tag, using this ID attribute, you can you can identify that element and you can display it. You can identify the element and you can display it. You can identify the element and you can display it. Using the ID attribute, you get to pass the string displayed as a regular text. So the write method accepts two variables. One is ID and other one is variable that you provided. Okay, for example, if you see this HTML, where I'm trying to display today's date and time, I'm trying to display the date and time. For displaying the data and time, for displaying the data and time, for displaying the date and time, okay, suppose this is some test2 dot, so this is some test2 dot, what is it, HTML. For displaying this date and time, for displaying this data and time, yes, for displaying this date and time, see here. So I just write here one label. I placed one label within HTML. And what is the label here today? What is the label ID here today? And I want to place the value within the label called today. Now, how can I get the value of today? See, how can I display the today's date and time? Okay, within the web page, I want to display current date and time. So previously, I can do that by using which one? JavaScript. But now I'm trying to include which one here? PyScript. I'm using which one here? PyScript. And I'm saying PyScript dot, see, import data time as a DT. So data time is which module here? Python module. And you are trying to write in HTML. See, you are trying to write this data and time in HTML label. You are trying to write this data and time in HTML label by using which one here? Write. And what is the idea of this label here today? What is the idea of this particular label here today? And you are saying date time dot date and time dot date dot today. This will return the system date and time. And from this, you are trying to read the date and time. So percentage A, percentage B, percentage D, and percentage Y. So it will try to read. Now, once you run this, now you can see the today's date and time here. That is nothing but system date and time. Today is Sunday, June 12 and 2022. Now Sunday. Now percentage A represents what here? And day name, day of the week. Okay, full. And percentage B is month name. And percentage D is what? Day of the month. And percentage Y is what here? Year. Percentage A is a day of the week. And percentage B is a day of the month, and sorry, month name. And percentage D is a day of the month. Percentage D is a day of the month. Okay, and percentage Y is, okay, percentage Y is, correct? Yes. And not only that, you can add some more operations. Not only that, you can add some more operations. Like if you want to include Python interpreter within the browser, if you want to include Python interpreter within the browser, see, you don't require to install the Python software. You want to include Python command line interface. You want to include Python command line interface. Like what is that command line interface? REPL. REPL stands for what? What is REPL stands for? REPL stands for what is REPL? Anyone? What is REPL stands for? R means read. R means read. So read, evaluate, print loop. Read, evaluate, print loop. Okay, you can work with the Python. In how many modes can you work with the Python? In how many modes you can work with the Python? How many modes can you work with the Python? Two modes. Okay, two modes are there. Two modes are there. One is interactive mode, and one more is what? One is interactive mode, and one more is scripting mode. Yes, one is interactive mode, and one more is scripting mode. In interactive mode, you'll be working with what? Python shell. Yes, in interactive mode, you'll be working with the Python shell. Python shell. In interactive mode, you'll be working with Python shell, right? So where you interact with the Python shell will interpret whatever commands you give and it returns a yes. No, not like that. PyScript provides an interface for running Python code in browsers. Okay. To be enabled to do this, PyScript uses REPL. So Python shell is called as which one here? REPL. Python shell is called as REPL. So you can use PyREPL tag. The PyREPL tag adds REPL component is nothing but Python shell component to the page, which acts as a code editor and allows. Uh, Sir, your laptop charging is low. 1 minute. So just a minute. Yeah. Thank you, Pranit. Right. So if you want to include a Python shell, if you want to include Python shell in the browser, if you want to include the Python shell within the browser, okay, if you want to include Python shell within the browser, you are trying to use one tag. What is the tag you are using is PyREPL. REPL stands for read, evaluate, print loop is called as Python shell, right? If you want to work in which mode here, interactive mode, if you want to work in interactive mode, you have to use this PyREPL. Okay, tag adds REPL component to the page, which acts as a code editor and allows you to write executable code inline, right? So if you want to write and execute the Python code within the browser, okay, now you can include REPL, means you can include what? You can include, okay, you can include what is it? Python shell or inline interpreter, which runs within the browser, okay, which runs within the browser, right? Now this is test 3 dot some HTML. This is some test 3 dot HTML. Now you can see, I said PyREPL, ID is my REPL, auto generate equal to true. Okay, and then that's it. So by just adding this particular tag, what will happen is it will try to include REPL within the browser. Means shell. It will try to add the shell within the browser. Now you can see, oh sorry. So I just try to run this, but you can run directly. You can open the HTML page directly within the browser. Now this is a shell. Now where I can say print, okay, print what is this? Hello Python. Say print hello Python, and then what you can do is you can just click on run. So once you run this, now there is a message called hello Python. Okay, I can write like a equal to 10, okay, b equal to 20, and c equal to a plus b. Now I'm not install any Python software. Okay, I just write here print format. Okay, I just write here sum of a and b. Okay, sum of a and b is what is that here? C. Okay, sum of a and b is what here? C. So I try to run this code. If any error is there, it will show you, right? Sum of 10 and 20 is what here? 30. It means within the browser, see within the browser, I try to include what? Within browser, I try to include what? Python shell. Within the browser, I try to include the interactive mode or Python shell. But how this Python shell is included? By simply one tag. What is the name of the tag I'm using? PyRepl. PyRepl. Now this is used. Now, is it looking like a is it look like what is this? It look like what do you call it as Jupyter? It look like a Jupyter. It look like which one? Google Colab. It is just like ideal. Yes, Jupyter notebook. But actually, Jupyter notebook required a server. Yes, but Jupyter notebook actually it is required which one? Server. So, but the code will not be executed in browser. Okay, code will not be executed in browser. Okay. No, no, not required. Sudarshan, not required. Oh, come on, yeah, not required. Not required to install any Python. Not required to install any Python software. Not required to install any Python software. No, not required. Not required to install any Python software. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. But see, if you are working with Jupyter or if you are working with Google Colab, okay, after typing in the browser, once you say run, the code will send it to what? Server side, and server will execute and give the result back to the client. That will take some time. But here, the code get executed within the browser itself. It means without interacting with which one? Server. Without interacting with the server, you are trying to execute the code within what? Browser itself. Without interacting with the server, you can execute the code directly within the browser. Now, data science people, it becomes very easy, right? Yes. Not only that, you can import. Not only that, you can import files. Not only that, you can also import files and modules. Not only that, you can able to import files, modules, and libraries. You cannot save this. You cannot save this. If you want to save it, generally, if you want to save it, okay, there is no save option actually. There's no save. Why? Because you know it. You know Pankaj. Okay. In interactive mode, can you save it? Tell me. In interactive mode, can you save it? No. In interactive mode, you cannot save it. Yes or no? In interactive mode, you cannot save it, but you can save only the programs, right? You can save only the programs, but you cannot do this. Okay. In Jupyter, yes, you can save it. In Jupyter, you can save it because Jupyter, see, if I want, I can save it. But how can I save this? But for that, I need to write some more code. Okay, where I have to develop a dashboard. See, this ID, this REPL is embedded within HTML. Within HTML. Now, this is only REPL. Now, if you want to read the content of this and if you want to save it, now you can develop your own dashboard. You can develop your own dashboard and you can say file and save. So where you can able to what? Save it. Because Jupyter is an interface, right? That is embedded with which one here? Python shell. Okay, where that is a dashboard. Dashboard is provided by Jupyter. Dashboard is provided by Jupyter where you can save it and you can do so many operations, whatever you do in interactive mode. But here we just included interactive mode. That's it. But is it any dashboard is there here for saving and doing all other things? No. Okay. Yes. Is it any dashboard is there? No, you have to develop it. You have to develop it. Now, suppose you want to develop your own Jupyter kind of thing using HTML, then you can do it without interfering at server side, simply writing by using HTML, CSS, HTML, CSS, and PyScript. You can develop that by using HTML, CSS, and what? PyScript. Not only that, you can able to import some libraries. Okay. See, I just try to give you some basics of how you execute the Python code within the browser. How you execute the Python code within the browser. Now, PyScript can interact with what? HTML. See, PyScript can interact with HTML. Now, using HTML, I created one label. And within this label, I want to display the data. So the data which is manipulated using which one? PyScript. The data which is manipulated using what? PyScript. Okay. I want to communicate now using PyScript. I want to communicate with HTML. So I write some date time in PyScript, and that data I'm displaying in HTML. So HTML, how I can display it? By using which one here, label or any other element. Any other element, I can manipulate it. I can manipulate it by using any other element, right? I'll send it. Okay. Yes. And not only that, you can write functions. Okay. Yeah, you can include. You can import files, modules, and libraries. You can import files, modules, and what is that? Libraries. One of the functions PyScript provides is flexibility. One of the functions provide PyScript is what here? Flexibility. I'll send this file. Don't worry, I'll send this file. I'll send this file. So I just send this file. Okay, don't worry. Yes, PyScript. Yeah, so I just, can you see in the, 1 minute? So it's already open because of that. I'll just close this and send it. Network. Okay, I'll try to send in my Telegram. Yeah, can you see it? All of you, can you see? I just put a link in the chart window. Can you see that? You can just download that, right? In chart window, chart window. In chart window, I just uploaded. I'm just trying to upload again. Okay, some people they're saying yes. Some people they are saying no, right? Yes, I uploaded again. Just see there. Uploaded again. Uploaded again. Correct. In chart window. Chart window here. Some people saying yes. Some people saying no. Uploaded again. So I'm uploading number of times. One minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Don't type messages, please. Just a minute. We got the file, Subhash. 1 minute. 1 minute. Don't type anything. Now, see, I just see in the screen. Okay, PyScript.doc. File sent successfully to all the people. No. If no, then what you do is 1 minute. If you're saying no, I'm sending in chart window. I'm sending in chart window. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. If not here, I'll try to put in my Telegram. After the class, I'll try to put in my Telegram. So this is my Telegram ID. You know it. Okay. Okay, this is my Telegram. This is my Telegram, right? Yeah, I'll put in Telegram. Recording, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, right? Okay. Code with, this is my Telegram ID. Okay. Not over, just minute. Telegram ID. I'll just try to upload this. This is my Telegram ID. Okay. You can join in this, my Telegram ID. Now let us come back to PyScript again. So why we are using a PyScript, you should know it. What is PyScript? Yes, come on here. What is PyScript? PyScript is a language, huh? Come on, PyScript is a language. No, PyScript is not a language. Yes, it is a Python. What it is? Framework. What framework provides? What framework provide? Yes, what framework provide? Libraries. Framework provide libraries and runtime environment. So platform, yes. Framework is a platform. Yes, it will provide libraries and execution environment. So why we are using a PyScript to run the why we are using a PyScript to run the Python programs? Why we are using a PyScript to run the Python programs within what browser? To execute the, yes, PyScript is a client side or server side? PyScript is a framework at client side or server side? Client side. Okay, what are the other things at server side? Django. Django is a server side. Flask is what? Server side. Okay, PyScript is what here? Client side. PyScript is a client side. It's not a server side, it is a client side. So client side means where it is executed within browser by interacting with HTML, right? Within the browser. Yes, Django and Flask is server side, but PyScript is a client side. Django and this is server side, but PyScript is a client side. Now, you can also import other libraries. You can also import other libraries, right? You can also import other libraries. Okay, you can also import other libraries as a part of this. Okay, now this is how to run in interactive mode. Now importing files, modules and libraries. Okay, so one of the functions of PyScript provides a flexibility. In PyScript, you can import local files, inbuilt modules, third-party libraries. So this process uses PyEnvironment tag. This process uses which tag here? PyEnvironment tag. This tag for declaring the dependencies. Dependencies are nothing but like other files. For example, I write one module. I write one module in Python, and I want to include that module as a part of my program, inside HTML. Then I'll try to use PyEnvironment. Okay, let's create one example.py. Okay, now let us create examples.py. Now this is example dot. So this is some examples example.py. Now this is Python program. This is Python program. Now they see PyScript getting used in real-time projects by companies. Yes. Okay, PyScript getting used in real-time projects by companies. Yes. No. Two are there because yes, I'm saying no, PyScript is upcoming framework. PyScript is upcoming framework because already there are so many scripting framework which are written in what? Java, JavaScript. Okay, like JavaScript is there, Angular JS is there, Node JS is there, React JS is there. All these are different frameworks provided by which one? Java. All these are JavaScript frameworks, right? Now Python doesn't want to depend on JavaScript. They want make Python developers more at client side as well as server side. They're making more flexible using which one? Python language only. At client side Python language and at server side also what? Python language. It is upcoming. Because they just release only alpha. Okay. No, Ramesh Nayak. No PyScript batch. Okay. PyScript is only an experimental stage, right? PyScript is only an experimental stage. Maybe it will take some time to use in real-time applications. Okay. Maybe it will take some time to use in what? Real-time applications. Okay. Ramesh, no batches related with PyScript is only for your knowledge purpose. I'm telling you what is a PyScript is. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. So, but there are a lot of things has to be done in PyScript. Okay. Lot of things you can do in PyScript. Okay. This is For example, I've written two functions here, but I'm saying no, with the power of Python, now PyScript will become more popular with the power of Python, because see, Python people, they will be familiar with what Python language on, right? They'll be familiar with the Python language. Now, suppose if you're talking about full stack, you try to include JavaScript. Now, the person who want to do this, they should know what JavaScript. Yeah, this is yes, yes, Sudarshan. Yes, it is in experimental stage. Yes, it is only an experimental stage. Sir, some companies asking for PyScript for DevOps. Yes, sir. I don't know, but yes, Pranit. Yes, sir. Some companies are asking PyScript for DevOps. Yes, Pranit. Yes or no? Okay, Python is used in CI/CD pipeline. Yes, definitely it is used in automation. Yes. Okay, then, okay. Now just try to understand how this PyScript is used. Right now here, I develop one module. I develop one module from random, import random integer, and there is add two numbers and generate random number. So these are two functions which are written in one module. So what is the name of this module is example.py. Okay, this is my module, and I want to use this module in my HTML. I want to use this module in HTML. So there is a test4.py. Okay. So sorry, test4.html. Okay. So test4.html. So this is some test4.html. Test4.html. Now in this, I want to use this example.py. So this is one module, but how you are trying to include this module? By just giving a path. But path is same project folder. Path is same project folder. Path is same project folder. But if it is any other folder, you have to define that location. So Py environment, and you are saying paths. So there is example.py. There is example.py. Now, is it there in the same location or not? Yes, example.py. So example.py, I just included this library. Now let's print random numbers. But how can you print random numbers? Okay, but for printing random numbers, you are trying to use one function, right? For printing random numbers, you are trying to use one function, exist in example.py. What is that function? Generate random number. So that function I'm calling here. That function I'm calling it by saying PyScript dot. Okay, for I'm saying right, generate random number. Now this function will generate one random number. So for example, import generate random number. From example module, you are trying to generate a random number. For example module, you generate random number, and that random number you are trying to put inside one label. What is the label here? Lucky, right? What is the label here? Lucky number. Okay, so that random number is a lucky number, right? Okay, but I try to import other modules. Okay, I try to import other modules of your application. So what is the name of this here? Example.py. Okay, now I just try to run this in the server side. So does lucky number is, okay, what is the lucky number? It is printed 1. So if you refresh it, yes, definitely you can use for generating OTP numbers and all other things, right? Now you can see lucky number is 5. Means every time it will try to generate one number, right? Every time it is trying to generate one number, but this number is not a static, right? This number is what? dynamic, right? So lucky number is what? 1. So it means you can use the power of which language? Python language. Okay, it means within PyScript, you can use the power of Python language because Python come up with so many libraries. Means you can develop one game that can be run within the browser. Okay, now without using JavaScript, without using JavaScript, I can develop a game that can be run within the browser. Yes or no? I can develop a game that can be run within the browser because Python come up with so many gaming libraries. Okay, so that makes it application development at client side or which runs inside the browsers become more easier. For example, I want to display the calendar, right? I want to display the calendar. Calendar is there. Now, previously, if I want to do that, I need to use JavaScript. But now, as a Python developer, I don't require to take the help of which one? JavaScript. I don't require to take the help of JavaScript. Rather than taking the help of JavaScript, I can do the same thing in what? Python. I can do the same thing in what? Python. So that makes it application development more easier, right? For Python developers, without knowing any other scripting, without knowing any other scripting language, without knowing other scripting language. No. So DB connection, no. Browser, no. Yeah, browser, no. Right? DB connections, database connections. Yes, you can load the data from the files, and data visualizations can be done. That can be shared with other people. Okay. Now all the things you can do it with the help of which one? PyScript. Right? So this is just a beginning of the PyScript. But there are a lot of things are there related with which one? PyScript. This is just a beginning of PyScript. Yes, you can use JSON, you can use CSV. Yes, you can use JSON, you can use what? CSV files. Yes, you can use JSON and CSV for applying. You can import other modules. Okay, like you can import NumPy, Pandas. Okay, Matplotlib, all the things like machine learning related things. Everything you can import and do within the browser itself. Everything you can do within the browser itself with the help of which one here? PyScript. Okay. You can open that JS file. You can open this JS file. Okay, just click on this and you can open this JS file, and the JS file will have so many JavaScript related functions, right? A lot of things are there. Lot of functions are there. Now this complete JS file, okay, it's an open source. Ashutosh, it's an open source. You can just open it. Okay, you can just open it and you can see all these functions which are written, in which one? JavaScript, right? Yes. So this is CSS. CSS is only styling, right? CSS is only styles, right? These are predefined styles. Okay, this is predefined styles. You can use these styles, no problem. Okay, these are different styles. Okay. Yeah, you can hide like JavaScript can hide the code of PyScript. I don't know because JavaScript you can do that, but in PyScript we need to check, right? Yes. But anyway, now this is just a beginning of what is it? PyScript. But there are a lot of things to come up with the PyScript. But I've just taken this PyScript workshop just to have the knowledge of like how PyScript, what is PyScript and what is Python is. Okay, these are two different things. Python is a language, and PyScript is a client-side scripting framework, and which is used to run the Python programs, which is used to run the Python programs inside what? Browser. Okay, PyScript is used to run the Python programs within the browser. So because some people will have the confusion like what is PyScript and what is Python. So Python is only a language. It's not a scripting language. Python is only a language, but PyScript is a framework which is used to run the Python programs in browser. Maybe I don't think so. It will take a lot of time to use this PyScript because it is having so many beautiful things like whatever things you are doing in Python, okay, Python people, I'm saying no, Python people love working with the PyScript because Python applications using Python is very simple, right? So you can use the power of Python at client side also, rather than server side. It's already there at server side. Now Python people are doing some experiments to do use this at client side also, right? Okay. So how much time it will take? We don't know, right? Yes, it may take some time to um, stick in the industry, right? Yes. Okay. Anyway, I hope you understood this. But in the I'll try to conduct one more workshop. Now, which workshop you wanted? Any suggestions you want? I'll try to conduct on that particular topic. Okay. Any suggestions or any topic you required? I'll try to conduct on that particular topic. Okay. Anyone? Kinter. Anyway, Kinter is already you are learning in this year. Regular classes you are learning Kinter. No, why again workshop? Surinder. Game development Kiwi. Okay. Web scraping. Yes. Workshop on web scraping. Okay. We'll try to think about this web scraping and game develop using Web 3.0. Okay. Data science workshops already there, Deepthi. Already conducted so many workshops on data science by the data science people. Okay. If you want, I don't have any problem in conducting that, right? That is what web scraping, mobile applications. Okay. Yes, database connection and security using PyScript. Okay. We'll DevOps per Python. Okay, very good. This topic is very good. How DevOps, how Python is used in DevOps. Yes, very good. Yeah, we are freshers. Anything you take as a workshop, it will increase our knowledge. Okay, no problem. SQL workshop already, these workshops, I mean, workshop means the content what you learn in what you don't learn in a regular class. Okay, regular class already you are learning Kinter, databases and all the things, right? Okay, why you again separate workshop for that? In workshop, you have to learn one new concept. Other than which one? Other than which one? Regular classes. Yes, Kinter is a part of the course only, right? Course curriculum, you have a Kinter. You are learning Kinter as a part of your course. Okay, why again workshop for that? Not required, right? Surinder. Okay, Flask. Okay, no problem. We'll think about this. How to use task scheduling using Python. Okay, multi-threading. You are talking about Sunny Kumar. Okay, so a lot of suggestions are given. So I'll just look of this. No, JavaScript is different. Java is different. Yeah, Krishna. JavaScript is different and Java is different. Okay, Java is backend. Like Python, Java is a backend, and JavaScript is a front end. Now Python is used now both the sides, backend as well as front end. But how Python is used at front end by including Python script. No attendance here, Satish Kumar. No attendance. No attendance signing. Satish Kumar signing. There is no attendance. Okay, we'll think about this, right? And let you know based on deploying Django applications in AWS, Microsoft Azure. We'll look after them. Yes. No, no certificate here. It's a free workshop. There's no certificate for this workshop. No. Okay. This is just sharing the knowledge. Might be. Cron jobs. Might be. Right. Basically, PyScript which can be scheduled with cron jobs. Yes. Yes, Sunny Kumar. Yes. Okay. Now I'll try to upload these notes in the Telegram. Just look into this and try to practice. Try to practice, right? No, see, now you cannot compare at this stage, Ashutosh. At this stage, you cannot compare PyScript with the JavaScript and TypeScript. No, you cannot compare it. At this stage, you should not compare it. Okay. It is not full-fledged version, right? At this stage, you should not compare. You should not compare it. Once it is released, complete version, then you can compare PyScript with the JavaScript and other scripting languages. Now you cannot compare it. It is also not preferable. Kinter provide workshop. Okay, we'll try to see Kinter workshop. Okay. Yeah, I'll try to. You have given some titles, right? So based on that, I'll try to conduct. Okay. Yes. So anyway, thank you for attending this workshop, right? So maybe in the next workshop, we'll see another topic. Okay. A small topic, I'll tell you, right? If possible, I'll try to, yes. PyScript is basically slower than JS. Yes. Now it is very slow because it should load runtime environment. Okay. That library takes a lot of time. Yes. Yes. It will take some time. It's very slow. Yes. So thank you very much for attending this workshop. It's a simple workshop, not a big one. Yes, we'll have some more workshops, right? We'll have some more workshop where I'll take some new concepts and I'll try to tell you, right? So thank you very much, right? Thank you very much for attending this workshop. Thank you very much, right? I'll try to share this document in my Telegram. Okay, I'll try to share this in my Telegram. Okay, so that you can just go through it and try to practice and explore more on this PyScript. Okay, right. Thank you.